Okay, I'm here with Blaine from the band Lycan. Did you want to introduce yourself and what you do in the band?
Yeah, no problem. So my name is Blaine. I'm the new drummer in Lycan. I've just been in the band now just under 2 years, and a little bit of change and a little bit of manoeuvring around and things. And so yeah, that's me, the new drummer in Lycan.
Nice, awesome. So what kind of style would you say Lycan are? What would you say?
Oh, okay.
Uh,
We've got such a varied range of styles across the band. To be fair, we've got bits of Killswitch Engage in there. We've got
mm,
influences from Lamb of God, a bit of Pants
mm,
Flames. It's like we've got all sorts of different influences in there, and it's Cole's brought a real raw edge to the vocal as well. So it's we've got a bit of something for everybody in there. So yeah, it's
nice.
interesting and it's fun stuff to play. It's good.
No, that's really cool. And in terms of practices, how often do you guys practice?
So we forward little sort of like sound bites pretty much all the time, like little
Mm,
bits of
mm,
like ideas, little bits of demos, little bits of phone recordings, little bits of videos.
mm.
We get together every Monday without fail. But other than that, we fit in other nights where we can. But it's a Monday is a non-negotiable, and then like I say, we're forever firing bits and pieces backwards and forwards. So it's
Nice.
a
That's so cool.
process. It's good.
Mm. So how does your writing process happen then? So obviously you mentioned, throwing bits and pieces back and forth, and is does it happen as in like someone will come up with a riff and say, "Oh, I've got a riff here, just want to shoot it to you. What do you think?" Or is it how
It's a
does it?
mix, you know. So
Mm, mm,
Paul and Scott, the guys on guitar, they generally speaking, they'll come up like with a bit of a concept or an idea in terms of a riff.
mm, mm,
Connie's on bass, he plays guitar as well, or it could come from a bass line and just build from there. And then
mm.
so it could be me doing a silly drum pattern like in the car as a voice note. It's like, Carl, what's this sound like? Well, this way, it's like some of the stuff is a little bit crackers to be fair. Well, then we piece it all together, like in the rehearsal rooms, and again do like little videos, and then it's like we can do little sound bites, then piece it together, and then between Carl and Scott, to be fair, Carl does one hell of a lot of sort of like the demo bits and pieces as well, and puts it all together because it's part and parcel of what he does. So yeah, it's we all chip in, but it's like we always like to make sure, above all else, that when we're in the room, everything's organic and everything's like it all works together. So nothing's sort of like regimented and sort of like you can go too far with digital writing. We'll fire
Yeah.
bits, but we play it in the room and then we refine it, and it just gets a bit more of a natural feel. That's what works for us anyway. But
Mm,
just
mm.
like, there's no right and wrong, is there? That's the thing, and
No.
that's the beauty of playing in a band. So, but that works for
Yeah.
us. That's good for us.
That's good. That's good. So in terms of Lycan then, so obviously you're the newest drummer. How long has the band been going for? Do you know roughly or?
It's like in various different formats has been going a long time. It's like with
Mm,
Scott and Connie have been sort of like founding members, if you like.
mm,
And I know that Paul joined. I've known Paul for 10 plus years from playing in both together in another band in the past, and that's
mm,
how Paul asked me to join Lycan.
mm,
Um,
mm.
it's a bit of a relaunch and a sort of like a rebirth, if you like, of the band, because like for different members like leaving from the past with personal things and sort of like
Mm,
life moving on as it happens.
mm,
But it's we all like what the band stands for and the feel and the vibe of the band. It's like we've got a little bit of a new spice and a little bit of a new, like say, a little bit of a new launch, but it is like with a nod to everything that's gone in the past as well. And we think that that's important because it is a long time based band. It's just been sleeping for a while, let's say, and it is good that we've got me and Carl in now, and we can get a base and foundation, and then and push on, and some new music coming soon. So that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the video you guys did. And that was really, a few people actually mentioned, said that's a badass video. You know, like the sort of new stuff that you're coming out with.
The new one from Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I say, it's just little bits and pieces, and it's like in that video that Carl's put together for us.
Mhm.
That's actually one of the brand new songs that we've all rewritten fully as a collective.
Wow.
And that's a song called Before the Dawn. It's we may or may not be playing it at the weekend. We're playing it at the weekend. But we're we're in the process of finishing the demo. Like I say, it's a bit of a relaunch and rebirth for the brand. So merch will be coming soon. Further release will be coming soon. But there might be a little bit of something that people can get their hands on for free. There's a little bit of a demo and a taster at the weekend, but you'll have to come at the weekend to find out a bit more about that. So it's
Nice.
coming down.
Yeah, so that brings me on to Aggression Download then. So obviously this Friday, cannot wait. It's going to be absolutely badass, and really looking forward to seeing the band live. You know, I know there's quite a few people excited about seeing you, and we've got some people coming down from London and Nottingham and Leicester and all sorts. So that's really good.
Yeah, it'll be good. And like I say, it's like we're treated as a bit of an unveil for the new lineup kind of thing. Like I say, me and Carl as the new guys. Like I say, I've been circa 2 years. It's trying to find. We had very big boots to fill from the previous singer, Aidan, who's a phenomenal guy, and it was. It took a while to get the right guy in, but we've got that in Carl, and it's like we really work, and we're excited with the roots of Lycan, with a bit more of an aggressive twist for new influences with new members from the other guys. So yeah, it's really good. So it's exciting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your favorite track playing live then?
Oh wow, okay. I would. You put me on the spot now. Everything's fun to play on drums. Everything's really fun to play on drums. The previous drummer, Tom, is a very expressive drummer. He's a very musical drummer, which I think is important. It lends well to my playing as well. But in terms of, there's bits in every song, but my current favourites will be I Do Like Before the Dawn. I really like the new track, but there's sections in the Hunt that's really fun to play like little patterns and little intricacies. So I'd say the Hunt or Before the Dawn for me at the minute.
Nice. It's really great when you hear sort of bands talk about their newest stuff as well. Like, you know, when it's like something new that you've come up with, because it's such a magical experience, isn't it? You know, when everybody like gets it in the practice room, you're really enjoying the vibe, and I think that's really important. So that's great to hear. That's really great to hear. And so how do you all get on? How do you see each other outside the practice room? Do you hang out? What is there a sort of a,
It's beers. Who's free? Anybody free? Who's going for a beer? Is it Friday night? Is it Thursday night? Is it whatever? Carl actually lives behind my work, literally like directly behind where I work. So again, sat at my desk, voice notes back and forwards. Carl tries. It's like I want to tweak this pattern, kind of thing, and then it's like we'll do bits backwards and forwards, and then if it's I'll nip around and tweak things, and so it generally evolves around a pint. But what doesn't? It's music. Music for all of us is a grounding factor. We all enjoy it. We all know each other from. I played with Lycan in the past at gigs, and it's just a real leveler, and it's your relationships that you build outside of the band become more mates and long-term friends as well as bandmates, and it's a really strong connection that we've got, and we both outside and inside the band. It's really strong. It's good.
That's cool. And what are the personalities like in the band then? Let's do some a character assessment. Let's
Paul's the quiet and the leveler, I would guess. Connie and myself are probably the two. Let's just. I'm generally the sweaty drummer who sits at the back, and I will make daft jokes, sometimes inappropriate jokes, but we will not go into that. And it's like we're all very, very similar. It's like Monty Python regularly comes up, and like sitcoms from back in the day at rehearsals and things. And it's Carl's got a real dry sense of humour, and he's put in the promo video, and it's been our first live show together as the relaunch of Lycan. I'm excited to see him live as well, because as he says, he's ready to unleash a bit of crazy, which I think there's quite a bit of crazy in all of us, to be fair.
I love that at the end as well, like, you know, sort of towards the end of the video, and I was just like, this is going to be badass, you know. It's kind of cool to see bands that are sort of really putting their heart and soul into what they're doing. I mean, like, you know, even in the video, even in, you know, you can tell that you guys have a real passion for what you do. And you know, so far I've seen some really good you know, I mean, talking to Carl as well as a person, and you know, great person, and getting to know you guys. You know, I just cannot wait till Friday. I think it'll be brilliant. I really do. And
I've not played with Sculptures before as well, so it's those guys seem to have a real cool vibe. So it'll be for all the live music.
Yeah, definitely. I was speaking to Sam actually. He said, like, you know, he was listening to some of your stuff, really liked it as well. So that's really nice. And you know, potentially, you know, have you both playing Ragefest at some point next year? You know, that'd be good. So another thing I wanted to ask was, so when you've played live, for example, and where has been the best place you've ever played live, like as a band?
As a band, like I say, it's my first live show with Lycan.
Oh, it's your first live show. Okay. Oh, wow. Oh, so it really is a comeback gig, isn't it?
It really is. It is, like I say, it's for us. It's a relaunch of so it's a bit of an unveil for me and Carl as the new guys in the band. So they've played as a band. They've played high up the bill in headline slots at sort of like Macmillan Fests and things like that, and they've played sort of like all over the country. Like I say, I've played with Lycan at previous gigs and sort of like Metal to the Masses and things like that. So they've played a wide breadth of shows together historically, and it's just this one as a band is the first of many to come as the relaunch and the rebirth of the band. So yeah, it's exciting stuff.
That's cool. That's cool. And what are your personal influences when it comes to music then? What was the thing that made you want to pick up the drums and, you know, batter shit out of them? Sorry.
So no, it's my musical influences come heavily from my dad, and sort of like being sat down as a child as just being able to like start walking with sort of like Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue and Black Sabbath, and it's like old school classic rock, AC/DC, things like that, and then you get older, and then I went a little bit more of a heavier route, and then everybody has the new metal phase, and then all of a sudden I listen to Slayer and absolutely melt.
Yeah.
And it's
So true.
but I've got, from a playing perspective, it is, you just try and get as many influences as really anything. So I'll listen to everything from like I say, at the minute I'm massively into In Flames and the stuff that Tanner does there, and from a guy that come from a rock background and not a lot of metal, is like, he really complements what In Flames really doing there. Dave, your Dave McLean's, your Eloy Casagrande, there's all sorts of different influences in there. So yeah, I've got a wide taste and a wide influence in terms of musical playing. And it's my dad's fault that I picked up drums, to be fair, because he showed me a left right paradiddle when I was late getting into drums, to be fair. I didn't start till I was like 12, 13. And I got really wound up because I couldn't get my head around it for almost 10 minutes. And then a couple of months later, he bought me a drum kit, and I started taking lessons, and the rest is history, as they say.
Wow, that's amazing. And have you ever played another instrument, or ever done like vocals or anything like that? Or has there been
No.
no?
I'm the sweaty, angry man at the back who hates stuff. I did want to play guitar at one point, but as backwards as this sound, I've got completely the wrong type of coordination. I've not got the dexterous coordination that it needs in your fingers. Down for blasting, yes, but in terms of the accuracy on the strings, nah, that's not me. Give me left foot, right foot, left hand, right hand, no problem.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
I'll stick with drums.
Stick with drums, yeah. That's really cool. And what are your plans with Lycan then? So do you see yourselves playing festivals and doing, big tours? What is the future? What would you like to see with Lycan?
Well, the future for Lycan is very, like I say, it's a bit of a broad and it's a broad plan. We'd like to get into. You're right. We'd like to get into the festivals. We'd like to get into sort of sort of like local ones, and the Macmillan Fest, and so Rage Fest, is it that you put on as well? Is it for next year?
Yeah.
Things just to support the scene and support the community, because it is a massive support for a lot of people, and it's a massive support for us guys in the band, and it's that level that keeps you sane. So to play, to write our new music, get that out there, some recording in the new year, and yeah, booking more shows and see how we go and see what comes.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's really great. And so what's, I guess, well, when it comes to writing the new stuff, like, so when you write a new song and you wanted to, I guess you wanted to record it and release it, are there any sort of ideas in mind for a label or anything like that? Is there any sort of a single release or anything like that with maybe a label, or would you want to do it independently?
I think initially probably independently. It's future reference. Who knows? Collaborations like that will work on many different levels, be it distribution, be it points or anything like that. So it's you go into the realms of that. It's got to be the right working relationship for everybody. Of course, it has. But at the same time, we want to write music for us and what we really like writing, and I think that's what's important to a band. You write what feels right and good.
Exactly. Yeah.
To then people buy into that and don't try to replicate because it is just a churn then, and that's so it's I think that releases would be on us and off our work, at least initially, and then the future, who knows? And
I remember, I remember a while back. I mean, this is when Mindlapse was doing, we were sort of getting into the Kerrang and Mount Hammers and stuff. And what happened was we got approached by a major, but they initially straight away, they were like, we want you to bring in a DJ. And we're like, straight away, they're controlling the sound. So it was like, and then when you think about it, if you give up that level of control, it's really hard to get that back, once you've kind of got people telling you how to write a song. And I think, sometimes you have to be kind of, actually, what do I really want from this? I want the flexibility to, so you're 100% right. You've got to get, if you were going down that route of label searching, you've really got to find a label that isn't going to dictate to you how you should sound and sort of manufacture you like a diet pop band or something.
No, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, you get to that point. There's if there's just advice to any band and any musician across any genre, you get to a publicity or a label type of level, or starting to that sort of like dialogue and communication. You have to remember that they're in that dialogue and communication with you for a reason, because they enjoy and like and buy into what you're doing. Before it's like, do this, do that. Is it a little bit more of a mold that they're wanting? There's always going to be a collaboration, but
then
it's like music's an expression of yourself and an individual expression, or as a collective, as a band. I just want anybody and us will certainly stay true to, because I think that
100%. I agree with that totally. Yeah, that's really interesting, and I like having these conversations, with bands, because I like to see what kind of where they sit with things like, with this kind of thing. But yeah, no, that's cool. Okay, well, I think lastly, let's do some fun questions. What is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Oh God.
Fun stuff.
So yeah, we'll not go into some of it. I would probably say self-inflicted. I did a charity event with work for as of all things a water bombing competition.
Okay.
In Sheffield, but I stupidly opened my mouth and ended up dressed as Daisy Duke, with blonde wig and the denim hot pants and all, and having my legs waxed in the showroom and all sorts. So yeah, self-inflicted, but that wasn't the proudest moment, I don't think.
And have you had any moments, I don't know, what has been a defining moment in Lycan so far, would you say?
I suppose in the relaunch of Lycan and in its infancy as it is now, and it's like with the lead up to our first show at the weekend, and so the defining moment would probably be the first time that us five now, as myself, Paul, Scott, Carl, and Connie, the first couple of rehearsals, when it wasn't just sort of like vocal demos that Carl was sending us with vocal clips as bits of sort of like audition, if you like, so to speak. It was that first couple of times that's in the rehearsal room, and then you're playing together, and that works, because that is so important. That is so important. The vibe in the room, the chemistry in the room. That's got to be it, really, when it's the conversations and the meetups and the beers have come together then in a room. So I would have to say that, as obvious as it is a little bit, but like, yeah, defining moment for the relaunch of Lycan was definitely that first couple of rehearsals, when it's like, yeah, this is, yeah, after a tricky search, we found that guy. It's cool. It's good. That's what I'd say.
It's so exciting, isn't it? I bet this is going to be such a an exciting show for you as well on Friday, because it's going to be, you know, the first show back, and you know, and I honestly cannot wait. Sorry, my eyes watering. I'm not crying out of like emotion, but yeah, no, yeah. And I'm just going to touch upon this. You know what happened to me once when I was playing on stage? I had this allergic reaction to some smoke on stage, and I was screaming, but the smoke for some reason got my eyes agitated. So I was pouring my eyes. I looked like Alice Cooper, literally, like, and at the end of the set, the guitarist like hit the bass player accidentally, and then the actual guitar broke in half. But it was such an epic ending to a show. And then someone came up to me after and said, "Oh my God, that was such a good stage show. That was really good." Because it was like you were crying and could really feel it. And I was like, "Oh my God, I had an allergic reaction." But fair enough, you know. And then
Did you find it? Yeah, I meant it's like crazy.
it's so funny. And then they were like, "Oh, and the bit when the guitar went in half, that was so good. You must have taken ages to get that right." I was like, that was actually happen. That wasn't supposed to happen, but, but it looked like a stage show. Probably one of the funniest things that's ever happened to me. Yeah, my eye randomly, for some reason, waters on the right hand side, and it's really annoying. It's like I could be standing at a bus stop and then not just start, and people start thinking I'm kind of emo or something, you know, and I'm like, I'm really not. Like, so I'm just having an allergic reaction. Happens all the time, but hey. But yeah, no, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I think I'm really looking forward to seeing Lycan on Friday. And you know, we're hoping everybody out there who's watching will enjoy what they have to offer. It's their comeback gig, so please support, even if you're from Nottingham, because at the end of the day, we've got coaches literally like going back. I think it's 12:40, or there's one a bit later. So there's loads of, you know, certain. I think it's something like £4.95 for those of you on a budget. So even if you're worried about, oh, how am I going to get back, you know, we've got these coaches that go a bit later, you know, after the club night. So, you know, and that all the times and stuff are in the event. So yeah, looking forward to some stores, looking forward to some great live music, and looking forward to seeing Lycan live. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Great.